Friends, Namaskar. You are welcome to the Public Global, and you are requested to please subscribe the channel and like the program. Of course, share it to your friends so that our discussion should get reach the maximum people. Reach of such kind of programs are not very fast and not very vast. So, and there are various reasons for that. I'm not talking about the technical side of that, how the reach can be developed, can be increased, or whatever it may be. But the fact remains that the reach is very less, and the concerned peoples are not in a position to get such kind of programs. So the only support of only one thing which can change the scenario, which can change the situation, that is your support. And your support in the form of sharing it by your likings and your opinion. Of course, you have every right to disagree with the program and the discussions, but we we are we request, rather I request Praful Kolak and request you to please don't ignore this, because the situation is there may be different kind of problems in the discussion itself, in the opinion itself. But the time is such a in such a situation. The timeline is such a situation that our democracy is under attack, is under question. So whatever the voice, the honest voice is there, that must be heard, that must be get spread out to the people who are the stakeholders of the democracy of India. Our forefather has acquired this democracy after so long struggle, after a very painful struggle. We have got it, and we can't afford to lose it at this moment. But then why we are talking about this? Now you know that the Bihar election has over, the result has come, and what we have estimated, what we have our speculation was there. So such kind of slant victory will not be go to any of the party. Any of the party means the NDA, or it may be the Mahagathbandhan. Yes, victory may be some party and some Mahagathbandhan, but this kind of slant victory was not expected by our analysis, in our opinion. So this kind of victory in any democracy, and after serving the government after 20 years, no democratic election can procure such kind of high strike rate of the 82, 85, 90% rate of strike is not possible. Is not simply not possible. Somebody were there suggesting that what happened in Delhi when Arvind Kejriwal stricken 60, 90% or 80%, 88% in Vidhan Sabha election of Delhi. Yes, that is there, but at the same time, that was a fresh air. Arvind Kejriwal has entered in the Indian politics as a fresh air, and there were so many promises spread in the air, and people, of course, people believed on that. And the Sheila Dixit government has been eradicated, had been eroded, and the defeats of Congress was inevitable. So the defeat of Congress was there. So there is a different, the exceptional situation was there, but in normal, up to the 25, more than 25 years of ruling of the same segment, mostly, maybe some time of exceptions are there. So some few months are there as exception, but overall the 25 years of the incumbency of the Nitish Kumar and others were there. So it was supposed that yes, for the caste combination and the equation was like that, it was supposed that some victory range will be the balance. Such kind of imbalances was not supposed to be created in that situation. How it happened, the Congress lost everything, and not only the Congress, the RJD lost everything, and the CPI-ML, the very important partner of the Mahagathbandhan, the party which works on the land, on the ground of the politics, the ground of the society, and the ground of the uh, people always striving in the situation, in the right situation, and the organizationally is also very compact and very strong. But CPIM also lost the election like anything. So it was like a miracle and cannot be easy to analyze in any manner. Of course, so some SIR, the vote chori mudda was there. Vote chori was also an issue in Bihar election, and the SIR process was there. But at the same time, the SIR cannot be. Nobody was there to ask to stop the SIR. So SIR, so whatever the SIR may be, the intensive revision or revision, special assembly revision was has earlier been done, and the election commission has every right to update election electoral roll, Matdata Suchi at any time. So and they were performing the role. And but what was special? You can't scrap the whole electoral roll in one stop. We can't, because the government itself is in continuity. When when the Vidhaya Legislative Assembly or the houses of Parliament are in continuity, how it can be considered that the electoral roll is discontinued? It cannot be scrapped. It cannot be scrapped. Yes, the change is required there, but change in the process of continuity to maintain the continuity. What happened in the government side also, but what the election commission has done. So that makes a very lot problem, and the people are there to take the risk. To life risk is there now, and the Bihar election, all the opposition Gathbandhan has lost. Anyway, that is in the case. But yet, what we have asked, yet the legality of the SIR is pending itself today. And the Matdata Suchi, the electoral roll was not finalized last time. By last time, it was not finalized. And the 3 lakh people, the 3 lakh voters have been increased. 7 crore 42 lakhs approximately was declared. But it comes after the voting pattern. It comes to the 70 crores, 7 crores and 45 lakhs voters has been counted. So and there was some mysterious increase of 3 lakhs, and this was the situation. Now when the SIR is also in the discussion, it is being done in the West Bengal. Also at the same time, and not only West Bengal, but only the 12th state, the 12 states is also facing the SIR process that is going on. But still the issue is pending with the Supreme Court. Today, in real sense, today itself there is a hearing in Supreme Court, and we don't know what the result will become. The legal result will come from Supreme Court. But what we are expecting, that this anomaly must be removed. But this is ab initio anomaly in the system. The government, the chosen government itself is in continuity, but the voter list is electoral roll is discontinued for the purpose of the SIR, and everybody will have to apply for this, apply for with a fresh form. Maybe there are some documents. In some cases, documents may be required, or in some cases, document may not be required. But the form is required to be submitted by every citizen who deserve to be voters of the independent India and the democratic situation. So that is there. So that cannot be done. It was a very funny thing, but still we are waiting for a positive judgment from Supreme Court itself. It will come. And now in the parliament, the government was not interested, government was opposing, no, government was not allowing to have a point of discussion on SIR itself. So it was that government was not ready to discuss on this SIR issue. But after all, it seems that government is ready to enlist the SIR, and it is ready to be discussed. And meanwhile, the Supreme Court, the parliament was also disturbed. There was a hangama in parliament, on the issues and the various issues, not only SIR, but all there are issues, but the main issue at this time was SIR. So SIR, now the opposition party have made a program to launch a program in Ramlila Maidan, and the protest procession will be there, and the political program will be organized in the Ramlila Maidan in Delhi itself. So there is a series of protests is there, but what the election commission will do, we don't know. So yes, election commission is autonomous body. They enjoy autonomy, but no autonomy can ruin, no autonomy can disturb, no autonomy given by the constitution can overlook the citizens' right derived by the constitution itself. So there is a conflict of constitutional conflict should not be allowed, uh, should not be considered as a good sign of our democracy. Anyway, the result will come, and the discussion is going on. In the meanwhile, what we are thinking about, why the democracy is under challenge, because in continuously and deliberately the hours of the days, the working days of the parliament is being decreased, and the hours are being decreased, but the legislative work is, the bills are getting passed without discussion and without dialogue and without understanding, that is making that is becoming the law of the nation. So, and everything is being done by the force of the power, and the power is only power is democracy. In democracy, power is required. Democracy always is frame always created by majority, but it always, the democracy responsibility is always to run by the consensus. All should make a point. All should have a right to put their point on record, at least, that in future that may be referred as a valid point. Today we are referring so many points when the Constituent Assembly of India has discussed, and how they derive how they come for a concluded for some situation like that. So the debate of the Constituent Assembly is today a set for us, a learning for us, how India framed, how we framed, our forefathers framed the Constitution, and what was the spirit at that time to understand. Because the laws are the Constitution. Yes, Constitution is yet to be read, yet to be has every deserve to be read in the light of words, but it can be understood, but it can be feel by its spirit itself. So the spirit of the constitution is very much democratic, but that is being under challenge. Now the government is doing that before the start of this winter session of this Indian Parliament. The Pradhan Mantri has telling so many things before entering entering in the Parliament, in inside and participating in the process. He was referring that the weather is very fine and one must enjoy the weather, when Delhi itself is suffering from the poor air quality and the poor weather condition, the poor eco condition, the climatic change is there, like not easy to live, and there a kind of health emergency is there in Delhi due to pollution, and our Prime Minister is referring that please enjoy the Mausam ka maza lijiye, how it could be. He was referring the drama. He was referring that no drama will be allowed in the Parliament. Parliament is a place to be delivered. Who will deliver? The government is supposed to deliver something in the Parliament. And the Parliament deliver is not only the deliverment of the laws only, the presence of the law only, but also there's some relief to the people of India. And there are so many difficulties, so many requirements and expectations of the people, which can be resolved, which can be fulfilled by Parliament itself. But if the government decided like that, not to disturb, not to do that, the Parliament should not be only to pass, not discussion, only to pass some legislations, So that the government is said, yes. So government is taking that, the PLOs are taking their lives, they are committing suicide. And the government is not ready to look into the matter very seriously. Why it is happening? Why it is happening? The suicidal tendency of the BLO. What is working behind on that? Yes, we must know that there are so many causes are there, because society is a complex situation, and the mental, social, and so many other factors are there. So nations should stand with BLOs. The workload have loaded them. So what is there? So, but nobody is there. There is no process of any kind of compensation there. Nobody is there to understand, to take consider the pressure of the BLOs. What kind of pressure is there? But Parliament is discussing. Governments must have give some idea. Yes, some 1 week time has been extended by the Parliament, by the Election Commission itself, but that is not sufficient. Now the question is whether the SIR itself, the exercise is valid or not, and why there is so risky. We have to complete it within a month, within the fixed dates. There is no hurry. In Bihar case, it was easy to. It was there was a point in Bihar case, because the election was due very soon. So in Bihar case, it was the point was considerable. But what is being there? Other states, when elections are far away, after few months are there. So, but the election commission itself is very. It seems that there is some different agenda for not only the not only the assembly elections of different states is which is due of the 5 states, we think. So that is not only the matter. The matter is something where something which is not being visible by today. Whether it is one nation, one election, type something like that, then with a new election electoral roll. So government is trying to do that. So this is very peculiar situation when the democracy and the constitution or the government itself is not at par, at the same line. So now, so what is the point? What the point is to discuss the only winning and the defeating situations is not the matter of the democracy. Democracy, whoever is in the power, they have to deliberate democratically. So who lost? But the signals and the signs are like that. There is some problem. There is some problem with our attitude in the democracy, and the prime minister is trying to addressing the people directly. We are having the representational democracy. We are having, but our prime minister, our system is avoiding. It looks they are in avoidance with the people's representative, and they are trying to address direct to the people. Our government is responsible not to the direct to the people, but responsible to the representatives and the representatives house, that is Lok Sabha, and the lower house. Lower house is the house of the representatives, and the government is responsible to the parliament. So it means the government is responsible to the representatives, the people, the elected representatives of. But the government is somewhat avoiding this, and this shows that the government's commitment, government's indication is something different, which is not at par, which is not suitable and at par, and in the line of the constitution and the system that adopted and procured by our forefathers. So this is the point. Yes, the ideology must be there, but those who are directly contradicting or violating the constitutional provision without making any effect, without making any change to the constitution, is a very, very dangerous tendency. And now the situation is more than worst situation, more than very much worse situation. Even we can't compare with the emergency announced by constitutionally announced by the Srimati Indira Gandhi. So there is a manmanipan, there is everything is working on their whims. So that cannot be. So the point is there for the civil society, how to discuss, how to manage our democracy. Are we in a position to understand? Do we still feel the requirement of democracy? Can we honor the democracy? Can we save our democracy? There are various points of discussion may be there in the when the democratic center point. So India and the Congress, like Congress in India, and Congress is also a federal democratic party. But when we are talking about under this unitary concept of the government, the federal structure of India is also getting hit by so many times. So there are some points you must we should not be misguided by. We must not be misguided by the sense of defeat or sense of the win, because people is always at the winning end in the democracy. People never lose. People should not lose any election. People always, that is the people's mandate. So people's mandate cannot be driven against the people. So now we must have some point to understand our mandate is in the right direction or what. Our mandate is under the constitution, and the government will have to deliver in that direction only. Thank you very much. So we must have some opinion, and you are once again you are requested. I, Prafullo Kulakyan, requested to please like the channel and subscribe the channel, like the program, and share it to your friends. Thank you very much.